Welcome to fourth grade language. This is for lesson 145. We're looking at pages 223 and 224, and there is some homework on page 227. I will let you know what that is at the end of what we're going over, okay? So we have been looking at the dictionary, and I realized that you guys may not have a paper dictionary at home, and I hadn't heard from any parents, but I decided to go ahead and just send them with your parents last Friday, 2 Fridays ago, so that you would have them, so that you could use them, and that you would be able to do any of these. And if there's a word that you cannot find in your dictionary that you have, because sometimes there are words that aren't in some dictionaries but they're in others, then you can save that one, and you can look it up with on an internet dictionary, and if you have permission from your parents or with them. So just to do that. The pronunciation is what we're looking at right now. All right, and so with the pronunciation, you need to find your dictionary, okay? I have one right here, and you need to look up the word. And sometimes it can be hard to find a word in the dictionary. And it can be, sometimes there's more than one entry for that word because there's more than one definition or more than one meaning. That could have slightly different meaning, and they could put two of the entries in. So what you need to do is you start with the first letter, okay? So silhouette starts with an S, right? So you're gonna find the S section, okay? So that's the first thing that we do, is we find the S. And I'm just gonna explain how to find a word really fast. Well, I'm gonna explain how to find this word, and it really will help you, okay? So if you find the S, and you may find the S where it's SA or SE or SI, you might have gone a little bit farther and it's SP or ST. And so you want to find SI, okay? So SI is the first two letters, so you find SI, and then you start looking for L, okay? So SI, and the first one that I got to when I saw SI was sinfully. Okay, so I was at SIN. All right, so well, N is after L, so I go back, and then I saw silo as one of the guide words at the top. Remember those two words? Silo and sinful are the two guide words on this page. And silo, I know, would be close to silhouette, but I looked down where silo was, and silhouette was nowhere to be found, okay? So I had to think, and I went back and I looked at the word, and it's SILH, okay? That H is really kind of silent. So I was like, okay, well, I need an H before I can get to the O. So that's before that, so I kept looking back, and I see silk screen, silk, silicosis, silicone, silicon, silicify, silicious, silicate, silica, silhouette, okay. So then you're gonna write the pronunciation for silhouette. The one that we have for silhouette in the book is S-I with a little half circle on the top of it, and then L, and then your accent mark, okay? But it's a light accent mark because that's not where it's accented further in. And then you have two O's underneath that, and E with a half circle and a T, and then their heavier accent mark is over here, okay? Because it's silhouette, okay? And so that's one option, okay? Your dictionary may have a different one. In fact, this dictionary that I'm holding has a different one than my book did, okay? So let me just show you the difference. So this one has S-I-L, and then it does a hyphen, and it does the upside down E. It's a hard one to draw. And then has an accent, and then it does W-E-T. Okay, so that looks different than this one, right? But they're both correct. So whatever your dictionary has as the pronunciation is okay. All right. So you're gonna. I just wanted to say that because you're going to have different. Every dictionary, almost every dictionary, has different ways of doing the pronunciation. Okay. So that's how to. That's number one. Let's look up the second one, okay? So the word is new, okay? That's how to pronounce that. It's new. So, but it starts with a G, right? So we've got to look up G, all right? So go to the G section. You might come to G-O or G-E or G-A or G-L, okay? All right. So we need to find GN, right? Is what we're looking for. So we want to know letters close to N, okay? So we got J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R. Okay, so if we get to R, well, P, we've gone too far. O, we've gone too far. If we come back and we're at GL, we're too far that way. Okay, so take a look at what letters you have at the top, and determine if you're going to need to go back or forwards. Okay, so if your letters that are after the G are before N, then you need to move forward. If they're after the N, then you need to move backwards. Okay, so the page that I am on is the two guide words are gateway and gemology, and that's G-E-M, okay? So is E before or after N? Keep looking back at the alphabet, but you guys can't see it. So is E before or after M? N, sorry. It's before, so we need to keep going, all right? Geography, we're still going. Gig, I've got GI, all right? Is I before or after N? It's still before. GL, Glenn. Is L still before N? Yes, okay, so we keep going. We've got GL, and I've got glib, glow, glow, and go. All right, so GO. Is O before or after N? It's after. So this word new should be found on this page with the guide words glow and go, because N falls between L and O, right? Okay. So I look on there and I see, okay, I've got glum, gluten, glycerin, G-man, it's interesting. Gnarl, that starts with a G, and that's G-N, okay? So then I keep going, Nash, Nat, Gnaw, Gnome, New, I found it, all right. So I hope it was as easy for you to find that as it was for me. But I went through that to help you guys find words in the dictionary because I realize that it can be difficult and I have trouble finding them sometimes too. But if you follow your alphabet and if you don't just give up after the first page that you get to and you realize you have the wrong one, then you will get it, okay? All right, so I'm gonna put the pronunciation for this one up here. I'm gonna do the one that's in this dictionary and then I'm gonna do the one that's on my page, okay? So it's got a little apostrophe because it kind of has the idea, like you can kind of hear the G that would be with the N the other direction, like the ing sound, but like it's a weird, like new. It's hard to say it. And then it's got a Y in parentheses, and then a U with these two dots over it, okay? I forget what that is called, but it's to show that this makes the ooh sound, okay? The one that's in the book that I have has the N and two O's with that, like the silhouette up there, but this one is there. Or you could have N-Y-O-O, okay? So these are some examples. If your book has, or if your dictionary has a different one than one of these, that's perfectly fine, okay? If you're really struggling to find one of these words and you look and you're saying, it's not in my dictionary, it's very possible that it's not. So find the ones that are in your dictionary and circle the ones that are not in your dictionary, and then use a computer when you get to, when you're able to do that, okay? For Think B, we just did numbers 1 and 2 together. For 3 through 16, the boys are gonna do the even numbered, so 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and the girls, aka Sadie, is doing the odd ones, so 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, okay? So make sure that you do those, and then so hopefully you can find, if you cannot find one of your words in the dictionary that I sent home with you guys, and you're curious and you decide that you want to look up one of the ones that you're not, or one of the odd or even, and you can find one of those, you can trade that out if you can find it in your dictionary, okay? Think C is reviewing of the guide words, and I talked a little bit about this, like glow and go would be the page that you would find new on, okay? So glow and go, okay, were the guide words that I found new on, okay? The guide words for silhouette, now that I lost the page, were silo, nope, because that was the page before or after that. It was actually sightseeing and silly, okay? So the guide words for this one okay, are sightseeing and silly. What I found silhouette on, okay? So in Think C, you're going to see which words would be found on the page with those guide words and which words would not be. So if you could find that word on there, you write yes. If you cannot find it, you write no, okay? So that's really, that's all that those are. Then on the next page, we're just doing Think D. And we're gonna look up these words together, and then I'm gonna let you write the words formed from these root words, which are listed under each entry, okay? So first one is to look up hurry. Okay, so go ahead and look up hurry, and I'm looking it up at the same time. Okay, so if your dictionary is like mine, there are several words that could be formed from hurry, okay? So go ahead and tell me what words. Before I write anything, I want you to tell me what words you have in yours. They would either be bold, they probably would be bold. They're bold in my dictionary. What words do you have? Okay, you might have hurried. Okay. If you need to pause to get a piece of paper to write these down, that's fine. I'll be here when you come back. Okay, you might have hurried. You might have hurrying. Okay. And that would be enough, but sometimes they give you a couple more, like hurriedly and hurriedness, okay? So as many words as you can find in this entry that come from hurry, you're gonna write down, okay? So you write hurry and then write whatever words you find in the entry, okay? Let's look up army. Here we gotta go to the beginning because army starts with an A, okay? A-P, A-Q, A-R. Army. Sometimes with these, you might only find one, okay? With army, what are you finding? Okay. If you said armies, that's what I have. If you said something else, then sure, it's a good one because it would be in your dictionary. But armies is the only one that I see for this one in my dictionary. So we're going to go on and we're going to look at dim. So move past your, there we go. So there are 3 entries in here for dim for me. I'm only going to use the first 2 because the last one is actually means 3 other words, and so it's not, it doesn't have the same meaning and wouldn't have the same roots. And so this one I find, wait, what do you find? I'm sorry, I almost forgot. I need to hear from you guys and see what you found. Do you find dimmer? And if you found dimmer, you must have found dimmest. And you could have dimly and dimness, the amount that it's dimmed, and then dimmed. And dimming. So I found 6 with this one, okay? So sometimes you can find 1, 4, 6. It doesn't, there's not a number on this. It's whatever is listed in the entry, okay? So whatever words other than the word that you started with, you should, that have that in it, you should make sure to add those, okay? The last one we're gonna look up is gaze, okay? So head on forward to G. We were at D, so you should go through F and then G. And we need GA and then we need Z. So if you get to GE, you've gone a little bit too far, so go back a little bit. All right, I found mine on the page Gateway and Gemology, the one I had mentioned earlier. So gaze, what do you find for gaze? Okay, very good. We found gazed. It's a good one. Maybe gazing. And the last one that I found is gazer. It's the person who's gazing. So you might be the gazer at the stars. Okay. So that's how to find these. So make sure that you write down what you have. If you want to add any of the ones that I had that you don't have in there, that's fine too. So we've done Think D. You need to go back and finish Think B and Think C. And then for homework, you're doing page 227, remember A, okay? Let me do the first one and then you'll do the rest by yourself. So number 1 says nouns can be common or what? What can nouns be? Nouns can be common or proper. Proper would be what you write in there, okay? So go through and just answer these. These are just remember things that you should have learned and that we did learn. And so hopefully you remember them and just go through that. If you can't remember it, look back in your book because you'll find the answers in your book, okay? So don't give up, just keep going. And we've made it this far and it's Monday, but there's lots of things that you will learn today. So keep listening, keep working, keep learning, and we'll talk with you next time.